There is an enduring, almost magnetic pull to the idea of a classic American muscle car. It is the promise of analog machinery, heavy steel, and an open road stretching out in front of you. Jim Fite's Maple Motors in Hendersonville, Tennessee, capitalizes on that exact feeling. Through daily YouTube uploads, they have built a massive digital footprint, drawing in millions of views looking for a piece of Americana. Their inventory is constantly rotating with highly desirable classics. You will regularly see pristine-looking mid-century icons, aggressive muscle cars, and vintage cruisers sitting under the Tennessee sun. These vehicles are actively marketed to hit a very specific price bracket, typically listed between $15,000 and $40,000. By combining high-volume video tours with these mid-tier price points, Maple Motors successfully sells the dream that vintage car ownership is completely accessible to the average driver. But there is a distinct gap between how a 50-year-old machine looks through a camera lens and its actual physical health. The dealership specializes in what the industry calls driver-quality vehicles. In this specific operational context, that means a car that is aesthetically presentable and functional enough to drive off the lot, but falls far short of a meticulous bolt-by-bolt restoration. This creates a dilemma for the buyer. You have to ask whether the dealership's folksy, unpolished video tours are acts of genuine transparency or if they serve as a calculated legal shield. As a professional classic car evaluator, I look past the high-gloss exterior presentation to assess the structural and mechanical foundation of these vehicles. We need to determine the actual stakes of this transaction. You need to know if you are securing a reliable weekend cruiser or if you are unwittingly taking on a heavily disguised money pit. First, we have to look at the physical reality of the inventory. A vehicle that receives a fresh coat of paint right before hitting the lot carries immediate, undeniable visual appeal. In the classic car trade, professional buyers keep an eye out for Bondo bombers. This is industry slang for a vehicle where extensive rust damage has been superficially patched up to look perfect for a quick sale. This diagram illustrates how concealment works. Thick polyester resin is packed into an underlying metal panel, hiding deep rust pits before a fresh paint layer seals it. For aging platforms, this is severely hazardous. While the outside looks flawless, untreated oxidation spreads deep into the structural supports. An untrained buyer relying solely on the exterior aesthetics will miss this completely. They buy the paint job, completely unaware that the metal beneath it is failing. This quadrant chart plots visible aesthetics against hidden mechanical health. In high-turnover lots, you often see a strong inverse correlation. The vehicles cluster exactly here, offering stunning visuals that mask heavily degraded mechanical health. To sell these vehicles to out-of-state buyers, Maple Motors relies heavily on their YouTube videos. During these drives, the host narrates the experience casually, pointing out flaws in passing. You will hear offhand remarks about a door hanging a little bit or a carburetor idling up. By explicitly pointing out minor, visible flaws, like a little bubble in the paint, the host creates a powerful, false sense of trust with the viewer. The legal reality of these videos is quite different. By verbally documenting these specific issues on camera, the dealership establishes a clear record of disclosure, creating an ironclad defense for an as-is sale. This waterfall chart breaks down the true financial trade-off. You start with a $22,900 base purchase price, but rectifying casually mentioned structural and mechanical flaws requires adding $10,000 to $15,000 in immediate repairs just to make the vehicle reliable. The dealership's digital transparency functions primarily as a highly effective risk mitigation strategy for the seller. It legally transfers the heavy financial burden directly to the buyer. Despite consumer complaints about these repair costs, Maple Motors maintains an A+ rating and steady accreditation with the Better Business Bureau. Consumers often assume a high BBB rating guarantees rigorous mechanical quality control. It does not. The rating reflects an administrative reconciliation model. The dealership proactively reaches out to angry buyers to settle disputes privately, ensuring negative reviews are retracted before they escalate to public litigation. This administrative insulation allows a pricing model that causes friction. Buyers pay high retail pricing for baseline driver-quality cars lacking thorough restoration. We have to define the crucial operational difference here. A restoration shop takes a broken vehicle and vastly improves its mechanical condition. A flipping house takes a vehicle and simply prepares it for a quick sale. Maple Motors operates as a flipping house. They charge premium retail prices for cosmetic pre-sale preparation, applying visual lipstick, rather than investing in lasting structural value. When you pay a collector's premium for superficial prep, the math works against you. You guarantee that you will not be able to recoup your investment if you ever try to sell the car. To understand who actually benefits from this market ecosystem, we need to divide the Maple Motors customer base into two starkly different buyer profiles. The first profile is the nostalgic novice. This buyer wants a turnkey experience, loves the look of the car on YouTube, but entirely lacks the diagnostic mechanical skills to evaluate it. When the novice purchases a 50-year-old, heavily cosmetically prepped machine, the result is usually severe financial strain and heavy emotional frustration. The second profile is the pragmatic enthusiast. This buyer ignores the paint job entirely and views these vehicles strictly as raw foundational basis for major garage projects. The marketing successfully lures the novice into the showroom, but the mechanical reality of the inventory makes it strictly suited for the enthusiast. Maple Motors operates in full legal compliance with the Tennessee Motor Vehicle Commission, yet they maintain a shady reputation among industry professionals. That reputation does not stem from fraud. It is the direct result of the massive gap between the emotional expectations they build on camera and the aging mechanical reality they sell on the lot. If you cannot independently spot a panel full of resin filler or diagnose a wandering suspension by feel, you should avoid this purchasing path entirely. However, if you possess a dedicated repair budget and you treat their video tours as a forensic starting point rather than a guarantee, this dealership offers unparalleled high-volume access to classic Americana.